Hello, ladies. Lovely to see you.
Hi,
Hi.
good to see you,
Uh,
Tatiana.
I recently got to see Far From the Tree in the theater right before Encanto, and it looked beautiful. It was perfectly placed. I was so happy to be able to rewatch it in that atmosphere. So, my first question would be for you, Natalie. How early on in the process did you know you were going to get to be paired with Encanto, and how does that feel?
It feels amazing. And it happened after the short was finished. We made the best short that we possibly could, hoping that it would be attached to a beautiful film. And in the end, we were so excited when we found out it's Encanto.
And Ruth, have you guys gotten to see Encanto, or do you have any feelings on the thematic similarities, which I find so impressive?
Yeah, I mean, I guess Natalie and I have both seen screenings along the way, as we do in our studio. As the movie is progressing, we get to see versions of the film, and everyone is encouraged to contribute notes and ideas. And so I've seen a lot of unfinished versions. I haven't seen the finished version yet. We'll see that next week. So I'm very, very excited to finally get to see that. But we just keep saying it's like a little bit of Disney magic. We developed and created this project with no, as Natalie said, with no idea of where it would end up. So just the fact that they sit so beautifully together and that there are such themes that match and that complement one another, we're so thrilled it worked out.
Wonderful. The friend that I saw it with started crying during the short and then was just crying the whole movie. She's like, it just set the tone. I just can't stop now. So
it's bad that we're so happy we're making people cry. We're choosing.
I haven't seen the final film for Encanto either, and I know I'm going to cry, and I'm so excited. I look forward to that.
Yes, got to let it all out. But speaking of, this family story, what was it that inspired you, Natalie, to want to make this kind of like generational tale?
I started out with a pretty vague notion of the story that I wanted to tell. What I pitched was this almost mood piece. Oh, how nice was it to grow up in Oregon, to go to the beach with my family? I wonder if I'm ever going to take a little person to the beach someday, like pass that on. And it evolved in the development process to get so much deeper and to speak to more serious themes. We did some parent roundtables with people in our studio who are parents. So we could definitely get both sides of the equation. And we found all of these really like juicy emotional themes popping up that were very common across a lot of people of, there are some things that I'd love to do the same as my parents. There are some things I'd love to do differently. A lot of anxiety around like, how do you keep somebody safe in this world? And it just felt like a really great thematic to explore in an animated short.
Definitely. And I love how all of those transferred so perfectly to our critter friends, our little animal friends. Ruth, can you talk about how raccoons were landed on? And was there like any conversation about what other animals to include? Like, why are we going to see these particular birds or this wolf or
Yeah, as Natalie said, we've been working in development for a while on this thing, on this story that kept getting more and more dark, to be honest. There was a lot of themes about parents passing away and difficult parenting, and it got really tough. And so finally we were in a session with a bunch of our story team, and someone suggested, what if it was animals? That would feel a lot less severe. And, everyone understands the circle of life. It feels like a story that would be much easier to tell and watchable if we told this story from an animal point of view. So that was a real light bulb moment. And that, I think, was a real pivotal time in our development process, and where just that everything changed. We're able to the story just started to tell itself as we made that decision. In terms of the animals, we did a lot of research, as all our films at Disney do. We looked at all the animals that are native to the Pacific Northwest and that would be foraging for food on the beach. And there was a few runners up. We enjoyed the sea otters a lot because they're just so funny. And obviously there's bears and other things, but we landed on raccoons mostly because they're one of Natalie's favorite animals. She had a pet stuffy called Raccoonie in the day that she wouldn't tell you about, but I'll tell you about. And it just worked out so well. Raccoons are nocturnal in most places, but they're diurnal on the beach where they follow the tides. So it makes sense that they'd be going out and foraging for food as the tide is out. So it, again, a little Disney magic. It all just came together and was the perfect opportunity for us to tell a raccoon story.
I love that. And I just learned new facts that I did not know before. I was like, whoa, raccoons are tired on the beach. Now, for you, Natalie, I know that you previously worked on exchange student. How did that specifically help prepare you for this? And what lessons did you take away that you could now apply to this?
Oh, it was incredibly valuable to have gone through the short circuit program first. That's the first short that I ever wrote or directed. So I learned the whole pipeline, CG, hybrid art styles, mixing in 2D elements. And I got to know how our studio works beyond just the story department. It was so exciting. So when I got the opportunity to make another short, longer, with Ruth as my producer and more resources, and just to dive deeper into that hybrid art style, I was so excited to bring the lessons from exchange student to this and try to make something really rich and deep, and utilizing all of the amazing artists we have at Disney.
Oh, definitely. Speaking of those amazing artists, Ruth, how do you find the collaborators? Like, what is the decision-making process? Is it just like sign up to volunteer, or do you guys discuss who's going to work on the shorts?
No, it's a really it's a very inclusive process at Disney. We opened up for all our leadership roles. We opened up an internal post so that the people who were interested in our film were able to come and express that interest to us. And it wasn't just we'll take you and you. We were able to really collaborate and ask people as they came, like, what is it in this film that speaks to you? We did a little roadshow to all the departments and told them the pitch and what it was going to be like, so they had an idea. And it was really exciting when we interviewed all of these folk who ended up on our team, where they said, I just see myself in this, and I'm a parent and I feel this, and I love beach views, or whatever it was. Everyone had a different way into this film. And the great thing about shorts especially is the collaboration, and then we got to include that team on a lot of the decision making, and they were all such strong voices, both in the story, frankly, and the creative look of the film. There was just everyone was able to participate in that process, and you don't always get that on a feature because it's so many people and so fast moving, and everything needs to be decided quickly. So we really were fortunate to be able to work with some of the amazing artists in our studio on a much deeper level, and we loved it. We love our team so much. They're amazing.
Oh, yeah. That's wonderful. Now, Disney obviously has a long history of adorable animals that may or may not speak, but for each of you, is there any animal in Disney's canon that you would like to have interact with your raccoon friends?
Oh, that's a fun question.
Great question.
Oh gosh. I feel like our main character and Simba would have a lot to talk about. Like, there's some common threads there.
I kind of want to see them playing with Thumper. That really.
That sounds so wholesome. I love that. Finally, I know you have not yet gotten the full range of reactions, which I'm sure you will get very soon, but what has been your favorite response to the short so far?
Oh gosh. I think the moment that we were able to go back into the studio and screen the finished short in stereo with our glasses on in the Disney theater, with our leadership, our small crew, because they had given so much to the film, they had worked so hard, and we all were working into quarantine, and we missed seeing each other. We used to see each other every day, and it had been months since we had seen each other. That just seeing, like, here's your work on screen, thank you so much, and didn't it turn out great? Like, to see their happy faces, that was the best reaction for me. But your friend crying is a close second. That's very good too.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was just about to say the other side of that coin is hearing people that we don't know or have any connection to who are still finding some, emotion and joy and whatever it is that they're feeling through it. It really is really overwhelming and humbling when there are people we don't know who are feeling something through this film. So that's really cool.
Many more people will be feeling many more things very soon, which I cannot wait for. Congratulations, both of you. Thank you.
It's nice, Ariana.